sea meets every shore. Not an if, but it's a when. From beginning to the end, I am fire in the rain. I've been through it all before.
In everything you're doing, put God first. And in every situation in this world, we need God. When God is with you, everything is itself. You don't need to struggle a lot. Just learn to tell God, I want you to be in my situation. I'm pretty sure God will be there for you. Welcome to the life I live. My name is Susan Yawor, your new BC. Today with me, I have a gentleman, a friend to many, a leader. If I say all of it, I don't know what he will say for himself. Hi.
Hello, Susan.
How are you?
I'm good.
You're good, eh? You're going to briefly tell us your names, then we start from there.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
My name is Martin Sebalu. I work with the Uganda Society for Disabled Children under the Programs Department as a project coordinator. Yeah.
Okay, today we have Martin with us. The Martin is going to take us through his work experience. There's a part that everyone wants to know, how do these children, where, when, and everything. I think we have the right person when we talk to about children. He has the answer. Being a program manager, I'm pretty sure he has the answer.
Program coordinator.
Coordinator, yeah. A
project coordinator.
Yes. Now, let's look at a situation of work here. Let's know, maybe you briefly tell us your daily work, waking up in the morning, you be here, what exactly do you do?
Maybe before you proceed, before you came in, you couldn't realize that I'm also visually impaired.
Yeah, it's even, I think you left it out and wanted someone to, I think you would have said it yourself.
Okay. Yeah, Martin Sebalu is visually impaired, but with competency and ability to work in an inclusive setting like Uganda Society for Disabled Children. And how we work with children with disabilities here. I've been here for roughly 7 years now. I came here in 2014.
Yes.
And at first I came as a volunteer.
Yes. Then
Immediately I was switched to a program ending violence against children.
Yes.
That was Arua Yumbe Moyo Soroti. Then I switched to education programs, starting with increasing completion rates of learners with disabilities in the same districts. And ever since then, I've been implementing or coordinating programs, education programs in mostly in northern region, in western Nile region.
Okay, that is what he does, and you heard he says he's in vision impaired, so I think we have understood that too. Let's know how you ended up here. Let's start with there. How did Martin end up in this organization?
Maybe what spear or accelerated the whole opportunity to be easily enrolled. I'm not the first person to be here with a visual impairment, but the unique thing that was with me, I was computer literate, using screen reader softwares, so it was easier for me to be retained here. That's how I got in here. In fact, it was a call from the executive director supporting her with supporting a school in Ruero on how to use a computer. And
so how did she know Martin knows this?
She was referred to by someone, I think, in another organization, because earlier before I was training students in the use of ICT in Gulu. By then, that was 2012, 2013, up to 2012 before I joined USDC. And a number of children were recommended, and even people who had lost their sight were recommended to me. So I think through that network, she got to know more about me, especially from colleagues from Uganda National Association for the Blind, UNAB, and Ludipu.
I think everyone needs that one connection. And when you do good to people, people will always recommend you for other opportunities. Let's learn to do good. And let's learn to do what we understand most. When you know something and you're perfect in it, do it with kind heart. Someone else would pick you and give you a recommendation, like they did to him. Let's look at the theme of 2021 for the International Day for the PWs is not all disabilities are invisible. Let's start with here because you are dealing in children. You know about not all disabilities being invisible. Maybe you can briefly give me 2 or 3 of them that I might also not know for myself. And maybe someone out there would want to know, maybe also would pick a lesson and know, you mean this has been there and I didn't know it was there.
Okay, maybe briefly, the current, in relation to the current project that I was coordinating, it
Yes.
was in Newman's refugee settlement,
Yes.
that is in Germany.
Mm.
We're supporting a home-based ECD learning,
Mm.
I think which came in at the right time during COVID lockdown.
Mm.
Here we are using parents.
Mm.
But from what we did, the first kind of the eye-opener for all for this was training parents and parent educators on how to identify, support children with disabilities, on inclusive education, the need for inclusion of children with disabilities. But within that training, there are a number of topics that were unpacked, and there is what we call the National Learner Needs Identification Tool, which was rolled out to all, which was emphasizing universal, or let me say, all children should be assessed because they have a number of hidden disabilities. And just like you have requested me, some of the disabilities we pointed out, people were thinking, especially the parent educators, I mean parents with skills to train, to teach learners in early childhood education. So they were surprised because at that early stage you may think a child is stubborn, but that child is hyperactive. Hyperactive is also it is also a learning disability. Another one, a child would not be able to tell the right colors, color blind.
If it's green, the child would say it's pink.
Yet others know the colors. So that is also something hidden, okay, that someone may not tell. Then there are those ones with autism, depending on which level it is, mild, mild, severe. So autism is a social disorder. A child may be just quiet, or his or her social behavior may not be it may be unique compared to other children, but the teacher may say, maybe this child doesn't want to play with others, maybe this child is
Doesn't want to pick up faster.
maybe this child is
Slow
what?
in class.
Disrespecting me by not answering back and all that. Yet it's that hidden disability. So without that assessment of children using that tool, it's very difficult to identify these invisible disabilities. So
Okay.
just like you have requested, I've given you 3 of them. But
Okay,
if you need
that's
more, I have as many
No,
as
for now, I think that's enough because for the color, it's even my first time getting to know. If I can't differentiate red and blue, it is kind of sort. Let's look at experience now. Dealing when we come to kids, kids are kind of stressing. You know that they're not like you would handle an elder the way you can handle them. For kids, it takes a lot to handle a child. I want to look at experience because you're in the group of children. I want to look at the experience with the children you support. Maybe 3 or 2.
3 or 2, the experience.
Yes.
Okay, one, because USDC is an inclusive, okay, inclusion is an entry point. We are looking at children with and without disability, but most especially with disability, because we want to live in an inclusive environment. Without those ones, without disabilities, these ones may also not be what? Included. But with my experience, one, a parent of the child is the first person, is the first victim who faces stigma, because this child is young. The child doesn't know what is going
What
on,
is
or the
going
fear,
on.
or that stigma. So the first person is the parent.
And the mother, not even the father.
We
Because
don't want to
have
say a mother, because even you will find in the parent support groups that we support, we form,
the
grandparents are also there. Yes, grandparents are also there. But even the parents, the fathers
are
also
there.
turn up, though not compared to the mothers. Yeah. But we try to encourage fathers also to attend, to come in, to come on board. Yeah, so that is the first thing. And these parents we are talking about are so desperate to an extent that anything you tell them, because the first question is already our culture. Some are saying maybe she's cast, maybe she didn't do this, you know, the attachment, the cultural attachment. The other one is she's yearning to get any kind of support. Yes, so the experience is tied to the parent, because this child is still what, young. But then when you find the other thing is about when you reach out to the children they have. The children just need that close attachment and confidence from the other children. If you bring also these ordinary children on board, they will not ignore their friend. For example, if you give a child maybe with a cerebral palsy, a wheelchair, the other friends will be able to push that wheelchair around, and the other one is also enjoying. They also play
Sounds
with that
like
child.
playing,
Yes.
but then they're giving good
So the first intervention is assessment and identification and assessment. And assessment, I mean, we bring in the doctors to really find out the reason why, because the question is why this happened and what can be done. And then what is done is brought on board with including the parents in the process. The child is able to enjoy a free life with others.
Okay, I think this goes to the dear parents. There's still parents who keep children behind their houses and they don't let them play. They even don't let them go out at some point. If they're going out, the child is locked inside the house. I think it's not the right thing to do to these children. You're supposed to give them the same right you're giving to the rest of them, the same right you have to do. If you're going for shopping, take them with you. If you're going anywhere, take them with you. If it's hospital, let it be hospital. I think that is the right one. I'm going out for a break, and when I come back, I still have Martin. Martin is going to tell me more about the accessibility. I want to know before and now what has been done from them and what is going to be done by them. Let me go out for a break. Yes, we are back with Martin Sebalu.
Sebalu.
Sebalu. I'm not a Muganda, and names here bull me every day. Sebalu. Now let's look at the access of the support you give to the children. Then I have two questions. The first one, let's first start with COVID. I want to know the difference between before and now. How were you people also affected like any other person? And if yes, what are some of these things that affected you people as an organization that supports children with disability?
Yeah, maybe for COVID, it was an opportunity at the same time, an opportunity to learn, and also it was also an opportunity. It was also a challenge on the other side most especially during the lockdown, because we needed to adjust our way of doing things, learning from home. How do we support children? Teachers getting supported to
be there
to reach
closely.
out to these children, because much as people are focusing on the phone calls, but this learner needs that one-on-one. That's why we were innovative enough. Already we had something in the locals USDC, the individualized learning plan, whereby a child is given a task basing on his level of what?
Understanding.
Of understanding. So this time around we had an opportunity of teachers getting directly to the children and giving them that one-on-one support. But it also had involved a parent, yes. But the challenge, first of all, just like you had, the learning materials that were distributed by government, at first they were not what? They were not enough. They were not sufficient. They were not
enough.
No, they were not accessible by the children we look out for, children with disabilities, like Braille and even signing, that kind of work. That service was not given. Or the later, maybe I had NCDC had prepared something, though it was also not easy because, and it was not realistic in one way or another, because if you are going to transport Braille work to maybe Karamoja, by the time it reaches there, it is already creased off. The dots are not visible, so it's wasted. But the other thing that was more challenging is the parent and the child getting the health services they needed. For example, there are those children who need
Review every now and then.
yeah, even supporting drugs and all that. Yes. So those ones also faced a challenge, most especially during the lockdown. It was not easy to move from one district to another to get those services from the recommended health centers. Yes.
Okay, I think this COVID affected everyone. At some point, I would think maybe people up there are not affected, but I met one and told me, man, the same treatment you're getting and the same lifestyle you're going to is the same. So here we have the same answers. COVID affected everyone. Let's look at increased access for the support of these children. Let's
Increase
start from
this access and quality for
yes.
supporting children with disabilities. Yeah, as USDC, we are now focusing on increased access and increased access for these such children with disabilities. But in our interventions, just like I said, we emphasize a comprehensive assessment, because even those you think that have no disabilities, they have, you will find something somewhere. Even you who is seated near me, you would be having something.
Yes, I don't see far. I just see closely.
But I don't. Someone can't tell unless they realize.
Unless I tell them.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is one. We were engaged in the development of the national learner identification tool and even the individualized learning plan for children with disabilities, which is comprehensive, so that we can get a starting point to support these children. But then we also have health interventions like surgeries, we have surgeries like assessment, and because before you even give any kind of support, you need to get that assessment report from the
Is
the
this
doctor.
all done from here, or there is a center?
We work in 14 core districts in Uganda. We work closely with the hospitals, referral hospitals, Ajumani, Hoima, Masaka, Arua, Moyo. Yeah, we work with them. Even Mulago, we work with them. We work closely with those hospitals. Yes. So we have parent support groups. That's the model we also have. These parent support groups
So how do you get these parents? Do they come to you or you go to them?
Okay, now let me start from here. How the parent support groups run from district level, sub-county, up to a school level, even a parish level. But how we get to know them, first of all, we work with the local governments. We have memorandums of understanding with the districts, the local government, the districts where we operate. So we work closely with the community development officers, district education officers, district inspector of schools. We work with them closely. So even the probation officers. So they are the ones who identify first. They give us an eye opener. They break for us the walls to get for us such parents, especially from the reports they receive from the VHTs and all that. So when we get the first ones, amazingly, these parents know each other. It's easy. So you find the first person will connect to the other one, and
then third one.
yes, and like that. Then yeah. And we also, even before we intervene, the baseline studies that we do in these districts and all that give us a starting point as well, the database. Yes, so we start from there. So those groups We train them, give them the capacity, they come up with a constitution, they come up with a clear work plan on what they are supposed to do, the real agenda, why they have to meet, the opportunities they are likely to attain through all that. Even from the local government, we even ease work for the local government, that those grants they give to groups. These groups, we have a number of them that have benefited from the sub-counties, those grants for them to start up IDAs and all that to support their children. So that's how we start with them. But going back to the other side, I talked about the health. Then we also do advocacy at national level. We were supporting the process of the National Inclusive Education policy, though it's now at the higher level at cabinet. It's awaiting to be passed. We are praying maybe that it will go through. Then we also do education, as I've told you. We do inclusive sports for supporting children. Then, as I've also told you, we do support the parents. That is in terms of in line with the. It could be livelihood programs. It could be so that they are able to support their children.
I want a moment of yourself. When I just walked inside, I don't know if you recognized my voice. I want to know something. When I walked inside, I didn't introduce myself. I just came in and sat at the reception. Then I heard you say, Susan, you're welcome. How did you know it was me?
I heard you talk at the reception, but I had already recognized your voice on phone. Yes, I had already recognized your voice on phone, and I was expecting you, so. But it was a quick thing.
I wanted to know if there was a magic that you
maybe
you knew my scent and you're like, she is Susan.
No.
Okay, you're going to advise a parent because you work with parents and children, and when it comes to children, parents come in first.
Okay, one piece of advice I would give a parent out there. One, before he or she conceives, they are expecting a lot, giving birth to a child, and if she conceives, and that process of carrying that child in the stomach, they are expecting. But we have a number of causes of disabilities that may occur, and some may even be during pregnancy due to some disorders, maybe some things may not done well, the nutrition, the
drugs they
take, yes. Then some disability may happen during the labor, that time of labor. For example, if in our hospitals, most of the public hospitals, it's always a long queue, and if that child gets tired in labor,
yes,
he or she is likely, it's likely to be exposed to some disabilities. For example, cerebral palsy, and all those other things. Even during the surgery and all that, those things can. But even after then, a parent who doesn't take a child for immunization, polio, even measles at early stages can also cause total blindness if not treated. So if a parent doesn't take a child for immunization, there are also those issues. Then accidents and all that. So I've given that bit of what causes disability. But what my advice is to the parent, when it comes, this is a process. First of all, the most important thing is to own up the problem and look at it as a challenge and try as much as possible to link. Now there is Uganda Society for Disabled Children, as Susan has said. Once in a while, maybe she can be able to, you can reach out and maybe they can direct you where we are at Owen Road for support, and not basically support, but advice as well. It could be advice.
Thank you so much, Martin. I think we have had a very great conversation with Martin, who has taken us through kids. When it comes to kids, everyone is like it is. We have to know about them more. For now, I am out completely. My name is Susan Yawor. Every Monday, 8:30 p.m. and Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. Stay on UBC.
Like the sea meets every shore, not